I wish a sis would. New episode every Tuesday.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Sis Would podcast. I don't know what episode number we are on. I'm Koya.
I'm Raquel.
And I'm Shakayla.
And we have our first guest on here with us today. Introduce yourself.
Charles. Koya's dad.
This is what she be talking about in a lot of our podcasts.
Yeah,
For real, y'all. Listen, y'all get to meet the man, the myth, the legend.
I'm saying good things about me.
Yeah, I always say good things about you. You're the only one that think I don't say good things about you.
It's not going to that.
You gotta talk louder into your mic. They can't hear you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So, how your day been? Tell us about your day. Tell us about your week.
Yeah, we
That's
talk
what
about
we talk
weeks.
about the week first.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all been talking about my week.
No,
No,
you gotta
we-
give us like a recap, like how you feel about
Yeah.
your week.
We've asked our sisters and brothers.
My week was horrible.
Oh.
Sorry to hear that.
It's
Why was your
horrible
week horrible?
because I didn't have a vehicle. My
Oh.
vehicle was sick.
Oh, that's it.
So therefore,
You took it to the doctor.
I had to take it to the doctor.
Because I had commission.
I had to take it to the doctor. And sometimes when the doctor don't give you the news that you want to hear, you got to question that doctor. Give
Ooh.
the news that you want to hear.
Wait, not a second opinion.
Now, to get a second opinion, I had to go talk to the doctor so I
Oh.
can get my car fixed where I want it and get it back.
And let me guess, he fixed it, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes when you gotta face people face to face instead of we in the technology phase.
Ooh.
We in the technology phase. Y'all like the technology,
Uh,
But we got FaceTime.
but this
iPhones
old,
got
yeah, no,
FaceTime.
it don't work.
Ooh,
I can tell you now. If you want something done,
Mr. Charles, I feel like that's a little shade you trying to.
I know.
no, it's not no shade.
It's like face to
No,
face.
regardless of what y'all think, y'all know. Y'all don't know everything.
Oh, okay.
Y'all don't know everything, and it
Start
never,
off.
and it
That's
never,
so much.
never hurts to continue to learn it. You never stop learning.
Okay.
And one thing I've learned is sometimes you gotta go do face to face to get the job done.
Is that why I gotta come see you sometimes to get stuff
You
done?
gotta go face to face.
Oh.
Now, when you go face to face, especially with me, be prepared. Because it ain't always a positive.
Oh.
He's speaking gems already.
Yeah.
Is that a gym?
We ain't even that far into the episode.
Yeah.
Dropping gems.
Okay, well.
He came
Aside
prepared.
from your car being sick, what else? How was your week outside of your car being sick? Outside of that, like
That was the biggest thing. What are you trying, is it something specific?
no, I'm just saying. You said your car was
sick.
You said it was horrible. So
Are
that's
you,
why
are,
I'm
you, are,
saying.
you, are you pointing towards all the LSU fans being upset because of Florida State, got a hold of them? I kind of understand that. Not throwing shade or at somebody. But,
yeah, not throwing shade. Okay.
what are you talking about specifically?
No, we okay. We okay.
Uh-oh.
Rocky, how was your week?
My week was good. Tuesday was my birthday, as y'all already know.
Yeah.
Happy belated.
Yes,
Woo
you know,
woo.
didn't do much, but I got much love, so I'm glad about it. Yeah, I'm in a rough season right now, so we working through it. Working home, in events with the church. That's on the agenda.
Chicago, how was your week?
It was good up until what? Yesterday, day before yesterday?
Yeah.
When I
you
had my
a
mental
meltdown.
breakdown. Girl, that heat got to me. And when I tell you I had a mental breakdown, like a temper tantrum, like a toddler, it got to me. I was so overwhelmed, overstimulated. It was a lot. It was a lot. But we getting there. I'm over it.
Okay.
That heat took me out, baby.
That
Ooh.
he has been,
Okay,
been hot.
for real.
Koya?
Oh, my week was okay. Just ripping and running in meetings and keeping up with him and all of that. You're the only him in the room.
Yeah, boy, you spoke on me.
Okay, keeping up with my father.
Yeah.
You know,
Put some respect on his name, you see.
I don't know, a little stressed. Me and Rocky planning our church picnic, so that'll be over and done with tomorrow.
I was gonna say that's on Saturday, right?
Yes, that'll be over and done with tomorrow.
Hallelujah.
Get some sleep. So yeah, so that's just what my week has consisted of, in bills and sorority dues and all of that good stuff. So yeah,
It's the first part of the month, right?
it's the first of the month. Yes, first of the month, bills. Look, as we see, I pay mine because I'm still at home.
Your light's still on?
My light's still on now. My light's still on. I still got a car. My phone's still on.
Everything's still on.
Got water still running.
God is in the blessing. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, why you got that long look on your face?
I'm just letting
Is that not true?
no. If anybody knows what's true with you, it's me.
Oh, shade again.
So
Okay.
weird.
Yeah. So let's talk about, how do you feel, because your son has a podcast as well, and he hasn't invited you on there, but I have invited you on ours. So how do you feel? How do you feel to be here with us?
Well, I don't expect for him to invite me on
I don't either.
on his because it will probably fit better because of some of the topics they talk about, but then some topics they talk about I can't be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect to do that. But
I always forget your brother got a podcast.
I'm the good child, that's why.
Oh, shots fired.
Right?
I'm not gonna say.
I'm the good child. It's
You
not my
said
I think y'all both are equal.
Listen, it's not my fault
Y'all
that
both are equal.
y'all.
Now you both are spoiled.
It's not my fault that y'all stopped having kids when you found one that you like. It's not my fault.
Oh, okay, well.
That was a good one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So let's dive into it. Let's dive into some of your history. So tell us about, how you grew up, and I know about that. Like, stuff that you went through growing up, like, the civil rights movement, stuff like that.
Hold on.
Look, first you gotta tell what year you
All
were.
right.
You gotta hit him with year you
Disclose
were
the
born.
age.
I was
Look,
born,
my son says I was born in the 1900s.
Oh.
I was when I was born in the 90s.
I was born in the 60s, 62.
Okay.
Civil
But-
rights movement.
But
Oh.
we always, as children,
Mhm.
always feel that our parents are older than what they actually are.
Oh.
So we always date them because we think mama, daddy, whatever, has been way back, and they know back all this history. Like I used to think my mother knew about the Cowboys and Indians.
Oh. That's
Okay.
way back, sir.
That's way back.
Not Christopher Columbus days.
Yeah.
I thought she could tell me about the Cowboys and Indians.
Not
But-
Indians coming off a boat.
But as we get
Pilgrims.
older, we should mature enough to know that our parents are within an age that they actually can talk about certain issues. I don't know nothing about civil rights. I wasn't back then.
He said he wasn't segregated.
I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't.
I know, right?
I didn't do the marching. All that stuff. I'm glad they did it. And all of that. But
He had to go to all black, all white schools.
Yeah, he said they was integrated.
no, we
back
did.
then.
We did. And
Oh,
then
you did?
we were in the part where they finally started integrating the schools.
Oh, okay.
See, I went to all black
So a
elementary.
little bit, got a little taste.
See, I was really joking about that. I was just trying to get up under your skin a little bit,
I went to all black elementary school, and then when we got to the 6th grade,
Mhm.
they separated us and sent us all the way to South Austin from East Austin. We had to be bused. That was the first time all of our kids had to be bused to a different area.
Mm.
And then from there,
Why you ain't never told me this story before?
I had,
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
it's called listening.
Oh, I do
It's
listen.
called
Are
listening.
you listening? You're not listening.
I do listen.
Mm.
Sometimes, there's a bunch, it's not nothing dramatic. It just was during the time when they started integrating schools.
Mhm.
So we had to be bused all the way to South Austin. For our 6th grade year, and then our high school years, we went according to the different stuff. So,
Yeah. That was gonna make her damn thing for the main child.
She comfortable.
Okay, so let's dive into the real topic for today. So our topic for today is generational differences. Cause throughout all of our episodes, you always call me and be like, "Why you say this and you said this and that's not true and da da da." So, but point out some of the things that you feel that I have said that is not true.
Mm.
I mean, he already spoke one of them gems earlier when he said technology.
Yeah, we did put that out there first. Yeah.
Well, one of the big discussions we had was that not teaching you about money.
Oh, you said he taught you about money?
And
No,
not,
he said
and
he
not
taught
telling
you
you
about
about financing and stuff. And let's get that correct.
Oh,
Because
he said he was put it on
with
the
all
table.
three of the kids in the house, I have talked to you guys about saving money, how to pay your bills, how to do things, how to do with your money, how to keep up, how to do your credit. Okay? You have gotten that information. I made it a point because I had to go through it. I had to have someone teach me about bank accounts and stuff like that. Each one of you have had a bank account early on.
I got my own bank account.
No.
You already can't even.
I went to.
You had one.
I went to Chase. No, y'all
Like
opened one
Koya.
for Pookie, but I went to Chase when I was in high school, and I got me a high school account. No, because I was taking college classes, and when I was in college, so they gave me a Chase college account.
Okay, that's the earliest memory that you have of it. But let me correct
Oh,
you. When you was in elementary, you did have a account.
So where'd the money go?
It went to you.
Oh.
You just didn't recognize it. The same thing with Pookie. When he was 5 years old, we opened up him a savings account.
you did one of them Gerber really fun things where you put the money in there when they're younger.
No, they just opened. They liked him at that time, so they opened him up an account.
He was our firstborn, and that's what we wanted to do for his savings. And every once in a while, when he earned some money, we'll take him, and they had it at the elementary school. We would take him, and he would put $5 of his money into the account.
But Pookie was so bad. So how did he earn money? Because he was bad.
Okay, we're not going to personally talk about it, but each child has their own personality and their own badness and their own level of goodness.
Wait,
and their
well,
own
Put it on the table.
I'm not bad. I'm not
Put it on the
bad.
table.
Growing up, I was the easy child. I just didn't want to sit at home. Like,
What do you mean by easy?
I was the low maintenance child.
Low maintenance.
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean by low maintenance?
Like, I didn't require too much.
What's that, Mr.
Just,
Jones?
do all of y'all think that way, that you put yourself in a context and say, oh, I was this, I was that.
I knew I was a lot. I had a birthday party since I was like 5 years old.
Okay, so I was a lot in elementary school because I was cutting up. But by the time I got to
She was getting taken out of church with that switch.
yeah, I was cutting up, y'all. But I owned up to that because I knew I was a hot mess. But I got it together by 4th grade. That's
I think
good.
growing up, like real life, growing up, I didn't really get into too much trouble in 2nd grade. But I did a few things in 2nd grade. But
Few things.
I didn't do too much after that.
Each child has in particular with my kids,
Okay.
each one of them have their own personality.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And they have their own thing that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one was better. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah.
But they had their own level of badness. They had their own level of badness, and they had their own level of goodness. One is an individual. One is a real introvert, the classic introvert.
Me.
And then one of them is an extrovert, trying to be an introvert.
Whoa.
So they have their own personality, and you got to know.
I felt that one.
Sometimes one to play against the other one, and then one to play.
It's like a
the
tag
parents
team.
against each other. Yeah.
Oh, parents against each other. That was you.
No.
Yeah.
No, that was the other one.
That was the other
He
one.
was the one. He was the instigator. Okay.
But hey, you just have to learn your kids.
Okay.
And each one of you got a different personality. So you have your own level of badness. You have your own level of goodness. You have your own level of quietness and your own level of when you're getting into stuff.
So who got in trouble for him?
We ain't gonna discuss that. Neither one of them was more than the other. So because they hit their own level.
According to mine, saying something different.
I know I wasn't bad.
Oh, okay.
So he trying to say face for his son.
No.
Oh, okay.
You had your own.
He said he had your own level
You
of
had your own
badness.
level.
I didn't even have.
He had his own level of badness. You had your own better level.
I played
of
with my
badness.
Bratz dolls.
Okay, but out of, you know, your 20-something years of life, there had to been some bad days, and there's what he's saying. And within those bad days,
Exactly.
That's
Pookie
all.
had bad days also, and his bad days was,
A little
his
bit
bad
more
days
frequent, yeah, but
but y'all both was bad, is what he's saying. Just
I wasn't
different
bad,
tax brackets of badness.
but I wasn't bad though. So
So one, we had to deal with the change.
okay.
One just kept the same level.
Oh, okay.
So one may have started off nice and sweet, and all that, and then elevated.
It was a shift.
And then one was elevated and then came down.
Mm,
So they have their own level.
okay.
listen. Anyways,
Oh.
And then, you know, once you get to a certain level of elevation and you continue to rise, now
You in there.
it evens out.
Mm-hmm. Met you at the
You ever heard,
equilibrium.
I know you heard the breaking point, right?
yeah, I know
Breaking
what a
point,
breaking
where two
is.
points cross,
Yeah,
equals
that's
zero,
it.
okay. That's-
Equilibrium.
Yeah.
Got it.
So moving on, y'all. I was a good kid. No, I was a good kid, so I didn't get in trouble like that. So okay, moving on. So what do you think? So okay, looking at the different things in society today, like differences, of course, differences of finance. That's a big one, but you know, differences of like mentality, because you know, like y'all like to call us lazy and stuff
Yeah, can
like
you
that.
describe what that is? Because I'm just saying.
Point with Rocky. Rocky said she needs you to give it that.
Y'all
I
like
just
y'all
need
like
a
to call us
definition
lazy.
because
Definition
times have
of-
changed, and I don't feel like we should factor in laziness because our generation have changed certain things that y'all were used to doing. I'm just saying.
Speak on it.
I don't, do we call y'all like? I don't
Yes.
call y'all
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah, it definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, nowadays, our kids have a lazy mentality.
Okay.
So if we saying that, we're saying, take your iPad, take your phones, take all of this. So when you're in the classroom, now they got their phones, they got the calculators, they got the computers, they got things to work those things out for them. They don't take
Just
the
at a
extra
faster
step.
pace. That's all.
No, you don't take the
Well-
extra step. Because here's what it is. You can punch in a number and hit a sign, and it gives you the answer.
Okay.
But you don't know how it got there. So
Sure.
when you go to McDonald's, you go to the fast foods and everything, the kid don't have to, you give him $10 and the bill is $7.61. He don't have to figure it out. All they gotta do is punch a burger, a fry, the picture. They just punch the picture. It's not punching in, oh, okay, this costs this much, this costs this much. And then you come back and say, hey, you overcharged me, or the tax is not adding up to whatever.
They wouldn't know.
They can't, and tell me this, what you know?
Yeah.
I would know because I work cash register.
I was gonna say I know how to count up money. Like if so say someone give you $10 and they're like, oh, never mind, I got 10, like that 10 cents. You be like,
Yeah. Wait. I want to wait because I think you're talking more so like kids now. Because when we was in school, when I was in school, we had calculators, but there was times when you had to do stuff you could not use a calculator.
Well, I'm talking
That's
about kids
very
now, but I'm talking about you guys.
No,
I'm talking about your
yeah,
generation.
but you gotta show your work.
Yeah, no, there was those questions. Even if you got to the answer, you still had to show how your work had to add up to get to that answer.
And some
tell me
teachers
this.
were particular. Like,
Exactly.
there's
You had to do
multiple
a
ways to
specific
get
way.
an answer, but if you don't do it their way, they'll still take off points for that.
Yeah.
So tell me this. If you go buy a ticket to Beyonce concert,
Okay.
Okay.
and the ticket price is $1,000.
Who's
Right.
paying that? But
No,
Okay.
I'm
There's
just
people
saying,
are paying
I'm just
it,
saying,
people are
I'm
paying
just
it.
saying.
the
The
celebrities.
ticket price is $1,000, right? And
There's also
the
taxes
search
and
is ticket.
fees and stuff
So
like that.
when
that
you
too.
purchase that ticket,
Right.
it's going to show your taxes.
Uh-huh.
But then you say, what is this other charge? Instead of paying $1,000, you're paying $1,500.
There's the service fees and stuff like that. You gotta make sure all of that.
Do you know why that's on there?
Because that's the company that's selling the ticket. The
They gotta
company
make a
that is
profit.
selling the ticket, they still have to have their profit for using that ticket site.
Yeah.
So like
Uncle Sam
StubHub,
like to take extra money from
yeah.
us.
So StubHub has that on there. Like you said, you have the regular ticket price, which is probably going to the performer, the show, wherever
Yeah.
you're doing, and then or part of it probably going to the venue as well. But then you have the taxes and fees, and then you have the service fees, which is the charge of StubHub of the program or wherever using StubHub. That's like their built-in fee. So it's never flat out. There's never flat out a price of whatever you see. There's always going to be some extra to upcharge. So if you get a ticket
doing the deal,
right? So you may see a ticket for $50, but coming out you're going to pay $80 because of those fees and those taxes and stuff, and that jacks it up.
yeah,
So I did teach you something.
yeah.
I never said that you didn't. I just said you didn't teach me how to, about saving money.
Oh,
Yeah, I told you. You just didn't follow.
Oh, I got my mama mentality with that.
No.
With spending.
I'm not gonna go there.
Could you trust mama in stores?
We're not gonna. She's not here to defend herself.
I'm just saying. You say it all the time. You couldn't trust her in the store.
I don't trust you in the store.
Exactly. That's how, didn't I just say I'm like I got my mama mentality?
okay.
So then now so you're we just had a conversation about this too. So social media, because social media is like your news outlet now. Like do you know who Blueface and Krishan Rock is?
Yeah, no.
That's good. You don't need to know them,
But
honestly.
hold on. There's
A lot
some
of times.
agencies and there's some things that you guys listen to, do all that kind of stuff that don't interest me.
Okay.
So
True.
I'm not interested in knowing who those people are and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Got it.
now, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, I know who they are.
Why do you? Because you heard they
Cause I
song.
just seen that video.
Yeah.
They song, right? So I know who they
Just
are.
drop your phone.
But like my son, he's watching this battle rap thing, and he's in this different artists, and there's an artist from HT, a young lady that's a rap artist on there. Man, he's telling me, oh, she's from HT. She's from HT. So what? Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have an interest
That type of intrigue.
in learning
Yeah.
and even knowing. He tell me what they're doing, but I can look at 2 minutes of it and I'm like, I'm done.
So would you go to so like there's been events called like R&B only, trap karaoke, stuff like that. So would you go to that? It's not like a performance. It's like you stand around and
I
and
did
you sing.
want to go until y'all was going.
Oh,
And at that
so
point,
it
no.
was our fault, guys.
No, it's not y'all
Why
fault.
was
It's
it?
that
Like, what?
it was the trap karaoke. It was that back door thing at outside venue, and I wanted
It
to
was
go
at
to that.
it was at Emos.
Well, okay, yeah. Well,
We was inside.
I wanted
They
to
provided
go.
water and everything.
Yeah, I wanted to go until you said, "Well, Daddy, I want to get me a ticket. I'm going." And that means no, I'm not going.
Yeah, we can't party in the same venue. Yeah.
It was-
Me and my mama be in the same place at the same time.
But like we went to go see Key Sweat concert,
Yeah.
and you did not know one song.
I didn't know one
But-
song.
Yeah, one song. But you
I
had a
knew
good time.
two. I knew two.
But you had a good time,
Rocky
right?
beside you,
I'm just saying, girl.
Yeah, I did.
You know I'm a
But I
music
took
head,
wait.
so-
Let's back up. I took you for your birthday.
I
So it
know.
was for you. So I wasn't supposed to know the stuff.
I know, but I'm saying, I'm just saying it's.
There's certain things that interest him.
Yeah.
There's some things that don't.
Yeah, you were still interested in that venue, in that artist. I had no interest in some of the things that y'all deal with and y'all listen to and y'all look at and all of that, like the little girls and
What little girl?
the little girls you watch all the time. I don't.
Pretty Little Liars.
Pretty Little
That
Liars.
show is 10 years old.
I don't have no interest in that.
That is
I thought he was talking about 16 and pregnant.
I was like,
girls.
what?
Them too. I have no interest.
Daddy,
in
you
I
will
thought
sit down
you
and you
meant like
will.
the little people.
Me
The
too,
little-
yeah.
I thought that's
Now I
what
watch the little.
Was that little woman in LA or something?
Yeah.
All
When
right,
they hit
Daddy,
that obstacle
you're
course and they
mad.
couldn't get their legs over that thing. I like that.
Oh my god.
Pretty cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But there's shows that's out there that Scripted show. I don't really watch scripted shows no more.
Reality TV.
Yeah, reality
okay.
TV.
I don't have
That's
any
what I
that
watch.
housewives, women housewives and stuff.
Housewives,
I watched 2 seasons. The only reason why I watched that, I watched that with my wife.
Mhm.
But I had no interest in that. I mean, that was ridiculous. I thought they should have took it off. I mean, that was crazy. You know,
Yeah.
That's true. My parents watch a lot of CNN and things like that. It'd be boring. It
I'm
don't
so tired of
interest me.
CNN.
Yeah.
My stepdad
CNN,
is a CNN.
yeah,
Anything news.
I'm tired.
It's
I'm tired.
ESPN.
I'm tired
It's
of Western
bad.
shows.
Western shows?
Mhm.
I actually like it, but I don't know. Maybe it's just
You
because
got to get a good shoot 'em up. You can't go wrong with a good shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'em
You
up,
can't
bang,
go
bang.
wrong
So
with
how
it.
you talk about you gotta watch people shooting and bang bang like
every
you just
now
said.
and then.
But you be talking about your son watching serial killer podcast.
You tell all that.
I be watching that too. First 48, things
Yeah.
like that.
But seriously, you know, it wasn't a study, but I think, well, dealing with police officers and going to a lot of their classes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Sometimes in the background when they looking at people, and I know y'all heard about the Columbine stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the deal with Dylan, the one that kind of spearheaded.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
Columbine was
yeah
doing real.
he was more interested in serial killers
Mhm.
and the gory stuff and stuff like that. So a lot of times they relate some of the things that you do in your actions later.
Oh, absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
So
people-
when they're trying to find out about
if you're
you,
too connected, then you may end up somewhere.
well, and then with
Yeah,
you know
that
dealing with
pathway.
all this mental health
Oh,
and mental problems and stuff like you just don't know the psyche of some people. So
True.
when you continue doing that and it's always in your face, or you just you all the time looking at all these serial killer things and all this stuff and how they got away with it
That's
and what
true.
they did, you don't know the mindset of certain
you know
people.
what? I'm glad you brought that up.
They
Because
might
Mom,
take it hard.
you heard it from Charles. Stop watching ID. Thank you.
Wait! Don't put that on me.
But that's true. I never really paid attention to
Because
that.
this woman stay paranoid. I'm sorry. I'm convinced.
You not finna do
I am
no show
convinced.
like that.
She be knowing about every scene. You mentioned one thing. See, that's what I saw on that show. And I be like, no, ma'am. You need to cut it off. Because she watched all of that. What you mentioned.
First 48 and Snap and all that, baby. I
That's
could
the
watch that
channel.
all day.
And see,
My
they
mama
be
used
going
to
back
watch
and
stuff
forth.
like
He's
that.
seeing
And
it, she
Dateline.
ID channel. So
That's my mama.
Yeah.
My mama like Law and Order and all the Snap, First 48 and all that.
Kind of like Law and Order and CSI
All of
and
yeah.
NYPD.
Don't get me wrong. I like watching them too. I like Even House. You know, Bones. But not not all the time. That shouldn't be your own
As we said,
channel.
like,
You know
you know,
by heart.
Your psyche
That
eventually
you
starts
know by
to change.
heart. That's all I'm saying.
Like you said,
Now,
your mom started getting paranoid. I was like,
if you watching these things and you got to leave a light on at night.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You might need to throw in
Paranoid.
comedy or something in there every once in a while.
that's what I do when I watch scary movies. When I watch
Yeah,
scary movies, I gotta watch a
scary
happy movie like
I can't
that.
watch it. I can't watch scary movies. I don't like scary movies.
I like scary movies, but I think it's better to go during the day.
Yeah, I gotta go see it during the
Because
day.
now, at least I know if I'm leaving the movie theater, it's light that I'm hitting.
Yeah.
I gotta watch
Like I
happy.
couldn't like
Yeah.
y'all,
We gotta
like
go
when
in
I
the
went to
car.
go see the first Halloween because I still ain't seen the other two. What the remake? The remake. Let me say that the remake. So it was in 2018. I think I went to go see it, and it was during the day. I went to go see it, but I was triggered in the middle of the movie, the very beginning, because it was still at the beginning when they was at the gas
You
station.
got something to grind? Watch that.
Child, I went to the bathroom, baby. I was panicking.
all of them.
I was like, "Oh, is somebody in here?" Like I was looking at the stop, like, I ran up out of there.
See, that's that psyche thing you're talking about.
Listen,
I'm triggered also. You gotta tell me twice.
but I've always been like, I've never watched scary
They
movies.
coming out with another song, y'all. I'm so excited.
Yeah, see, I don't watch stuff
my
like that.
family,
Yeah.
my family does not watch horror movies.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
That's what she.
They will not watch a horror movie.
Well, I understand.
Last year was I watched
You do
Boogie
gotta be a
Man.
little careful because I had a
It's
friend.
a-
She
it's
said
a
she
horror
liked to, watch scary movies, and then she, start hearing little
It's
things.
like, to me, it's like I watched the first Halloween, but they've released a Halloween every year after that. I think skipping COVID. I have still not seen the last two because it's just I don't like stuff. I don't like stuff.
That means is fake. Well, okay, so y'all asked me about my background, right?
Yeah.
How I grew up. I grew up a block from the graveyard.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I know you didn't have some experience.
I grew up in between King Tears and the graveyard.
Oh. Okay.
So, I mean,
You sound like my parents. Nope.
Several of my friends, their houses was just right next to the graveyard, separated by an alley. So our playground was the graveyard.
Oh.
Late at night, Halloween night,
Nope.
all kinds of things that we used to play football. We used to hide and seek. We used to, yeah. I mean, Halloween night. One of the things we used to do as boys was there was a mausoleum, and you go and you lay on top of the grave and you count to 10. You lay on top of the thing.
The
you count to 10.
headstone?
No, it's the actual grave. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
actual.
a grave.
They didn't. I mean, it's encased in cement and everything.
Yeah,
But
the
you
cement
actually have to lay on top of
That
it.
ain't stopping
And one of the
spirits.
older boys would always, before you get to 10, jump
Some of
off.
them
I was
wasn't
scared.
settled. That's all I'm saying.
Alright. So, and then one day, one of the older boys broke open one of the graves.
Okay.
And we had to stick our hand on the skull and count to 10.
Oh.
Oh no.
But,
So y'all was out here.
but I mean,
Yeah, I was playing.
That's
with the
pushing
bed.
the limits.
Okay.
you know, King Tears, the funeral home, we used to sit outside. There was a bus stop right there. We'd sit outside, you know, late and sometimes at night and just sit out there laughing and talking at the graveyard. I mean, about a
Y'all
funeral
ain't seen
home.
nothing out there?
So he must have been one of the people. What does that mean? That be
We've
popping
seen the
out? Be
bodies
like,
on the table.
would
as
you
they
take
open the
$10 million?
door, Bodies on the table and stuff. And,
Oh.
to sit at the graveyard from what was it, 3 to 5
Yeah, I
or
was
something
on
like
some
that?
Idlewild.
It didn't bother us. I mean, you got to understand those are spirits. If you're into that, spirits can't hurt you.
Some of us
It's
can.
the
Well,
living man.
if you
No,
look at-
you're gonna hurt yourself. The spirit cannot hurt you. You hurt yourself because you are doing something to yourself to get away from the spirit. If you believe in that, if you believe in that, then then it can play with your mind and everything like that. A live person can hurt you more than a spirit can. The spirit is not flesh. It's not nothing. You know, you can talk to the spirit. It can't hurt you. And then if you believe in God and stuff, then the spirit can't hurt you. It's there to help you. You can't always believe that the spirit is there to hurt you. The spirit is there to help you, sometimes guide you. Okay? So what can hurt you is a live person. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm more afraid of a live person than I am of a spirit.
Got it.
I can see that. My parents used to grow up in between a graveyard. They used to have to run across it to get to where they needed to be at. And they all would count to 10. Everybody just would take off running across the graveyard.
But I understand that because you kind of have to, you can't think about it because like you feeding into it in a way. And then that's like inviting what you don't want in, basically. But I get that. But I don't know. I still couldn't do no gravesite.
Me?
I was dope.
I'm not playing over there. Y'all good? I'm not playing over there. I'll meet you guys on the other side of the graveyard. I'm not playing over there.
Yeah. I don't know if good is the word to describe it.
Good way to get away from some people too.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you mentioned, you know, talking about the Columbine and stuff like that. You mentioned the psyche of you pay attention to the psyche of people and stuff like that. So backtracking, because you are a parent, obviously I'm exhibit B, but exhibit A ain't here. So perfect example. So like because I look up, you know, with these, whenever there is a mass killing or something like that, I always find myself going back and looking up the background behind it and the fallout and stuff like that. So I always look up Columbine documentaries and different things in the aftermath. So, like, one of the things that was said was the two boys that did it, they both had a mental shift. Like you said, one of them got real fascinated in killing and, you know, murdering and stuff like that, whereas the other one, he got really depressed. And the parents, I think if I'm not mistaken, when the news broke, the parent of one of them, he said that he wasn't surprised, or he was like, because he knew, like, he seen the shift, but, you know, kind of really didn't do anything. And then shifting back to, I guess, Shakayla's senior year, my junior year, a girl shot herself at school in the bathroom. And her mom ended up backdooring trying to sue the school because she said the school did not pay attention to the girl enough. The girl's grades had slipped. She got less motivated in school, so on and so forth. Whereas my mindset is, you are the parent. You're not seeing your child slip, get depressed, so on and so forth, or watching those serial killer movies and being fascinated and killing and stuff like that. So how do you look at that as a parent, if you would, because we not crazy, to see if you was to see a shift in one of us, how would you approach that, or how would you look at that, or what do you think about that?
I'm gonna try not to get y'all in trouble.
Oh, you say try not to get us in trouble.
Yeah,
Okay.
because some people don't like to be told the truth.
Okay.
We speak facts on here though.
The truth of the matter is, we have stopped parenting our kids.
Okay.
And by that, I mean, if you look at how you grew up and what's going on now, we didn't blame the school for nothing you guys did.
That's true, because I used to be like,
we
she just don't like me. But it's like,
yeah.
nah, you bad.
Right.
We went and found out the truth. And with one or both of you, we had meetings with those people when different things happened with you. And if there was a shift or a change, we found out. We took the time to find out. If it was something on your part, the punishment fit the crime in our house. It didn't get to the law. It didn't get to the school. It didn't get in the public. It stayed right there at that home right there. I had to pull a brother off the football field.
Oh.
And and he was doing good. It was okay. But by my standards, he wasn't doing good. And as I told the coaches, my standard comes first. Irregardless of what you guys have, if you don't meet the standard at home, whatever you're doing outside, the extra stuff is done. It's over. There's a priority that needs to be met. Home is first.
Yeah.
And you knew that. Home is first. If something happened outside of the home that we had to take care of, trust me, we handled it.
I can agree to that though, because my parents was even involved too. So
I do. I think
my dad would come up to the school. I didn't even know my teacher called me. I'm just saying.
You was getting caught at school, getting caught at church.
I mean, you have to get involved in your children's life. And other than that, you'll miss the signs of them changing. You'll miss, and I'm not talking about as they're 0 to 11. I'm talking about when they're 0 to 25.
I think that's
When
more
they're
important.
0 to 30.
absolutely.
So I can know when something is bothering you. You know, just by I can call you and listen to the tone of your voice.
Absolutely.
And I know when something is bothering my son, and it's hard because it's not a lot of emotion, there's not a lot of stuff, you know, that he displays. But when something is bothering him, I know. And I know what buttons to push. But that's because I spent time, I was involved, I know, I see, I do, and I can tell what's going on with them.
I think parents these days are more friends with their kids.
Yeah, they
than
try to be more
anything.
friends, and they try to say that it's trauma with how they grew up, or that was traumatizing to get a whooping. I don't want to whoop my kids, but you wasn't in the jail cell. You wasn't out here gangbanging. That whooping did some justice.
I've never had, and it's a testament to them, I've never had to go get them out of jail. They've never been arrested. I've never had to get them out of police trouble or anything with law, anything that they've done. Now, I have broken a belt.
Woo! Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That was traumatizing.
I have put the hammer down on a couple issues, but not to the point where they were damaged.
Are we sure? I think I got some emotional damage.
Not to the point where they were damaged, but they knew not to cross that line and to respect what they need to do.
And see, I think that's the difference with my upbringing compared to my other two siblings. Because I say it all the time. I said, you got the other version.
I always think it's so funny, like when people on TikTok, like there's like a huge age
Oh,
gap.
like,
like
yeah,
they're 18 and
my
they're like 2,
siblings
and they'll be like, "That's not the real mama." Like,
yeah, I was like,
you
got
like
the-
you
got
jump on
this
it,
new
right?
version.
Like,
That was
you
me.
in the
That was
pool.
me when they had Jada. They was always at
No,
McDonald's and
no.
stuff. Oh, y'all got McDonald's money
You
now?
know, like the 2-year-old jumping on the couch, and he'd be like, "If I was jumping on the couch, I'd been snatched up off that couch
Yeah.
in my room." But like you letting him, like,
I
it's funny
was
now.
the tables, couches from that stuff. I'm just saying.
I got called and it was something I didn't even do. And I got told to go in my room and get myself together.
Oh.
Well, it was a misunderstanding, and
You didn't ask questions.
and rest assured, I knew that you would never do it.
I ain't never did it. I never had this.
Exactly. That was just in case if you ever thought you would never do it.
Yeah, I just want to know why I didn't get my belt replaced. Like,
Did you really want that belt?
I don't know, but it was like one of them little gym, like it had like the gym belt buckle and everything. I was that girl.
Oh, that was that little dog belt.
No, it
We
wasn't.
couldn't replace that.
No, it wasn't. It was
couldn't
actually
even-
an American
We
flag.
couldn't even
But
find that thing anymore.
exactly, that's why I'm still hurt.
Yeah, okay. You know, my siblings and I'm 11 years older than my youngest sibling. So in the one next to me, I'm 7 years older. So I'm a lot older than my other siblings.
And it shows, because they come to him for everything.
So when it got to my brother, which is he's the third one, I could see the shift in my mother, because it's like, I disciplined him more than she did, because I don't know if you got tired.
I want to know.
I know my sister didn't
too,
get whoopings. So, but I think with dealing with me, she probably got tired, or just, I don't know what happened. I guess the difference in ages.
They just get older and it
was different.
whatever.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
They like, I've already done it twice.
Your parents don't do Carter the way they did you, huh?
No, Carter get away with murder.
Look, he's still asking for a grandchild. He got a grandchild over there. He don't want to take her.
Carter get away with murder. My parents just give him this look. But we also didn't get whoopings as often as, I guess, other kids in other African American households.
Yeah, it wasn't like wake up. Oh, you didn't wash these dishes. Let me whoop you. It wasn't like it wasn't nothing like that. It was like
My mom seen us.
well, let me change that.
No.
Most of them were for serious reasons. One of them is still up for debate.
Well, I mean, y'all didn't get whoopings. You know what? You can count the number of whoopings that you got.
I can.
2.
Yeah.
2.
But I was
In a
also
whole-
good.
in a
I was
whole
a
lot.
good kid.
But they were punished. There was a form of punishment for them at that time to let them know that they did wrong. They was punished. Now, if you acted up and you got something taken away from you, it would be a long time before you had to build that to get that back. Except for the mother. The mother was easygoing. She would give it back. So they knew to play. They knew to play on her emotions and stuff. You know, but some of the things that they wanted and they had, it got taken away, or they didn't get it. Or some things were cut off until they knew.
Yeah, I remember getting sent to my room.
I always pick being sent to my room. They give you the option. You can get a whooping now and be over with the
I
punishment, or you go to your
used to
room.
hate sitting up in there though. I
Nah, baby, I go sit in that room.
With the door open.
I'm
I
a
couldn't
sit in
cross
that room,
that
baby.
line.
You just sit in the room. You got your TV. You got this.
I'm going straight to my
Nah,
room. You're not
I
gonna
cut-
take. Oh
cut
no, my
TV
parents would
off.
turn it all off. My parents would take everything. If you chose the option to sit in your room, everything was gone. And that was fine with me because you wasn't gonna hit me. I wasn't taking that whooping. I'm gonna be in my room. That's fine.
Okay.
I just growing. I didn't like to be by myself. It was like you said. It was a 7-year age gap between you and your next sibling. It is a 7-year age gap between me and my brother. So
you know patterns. I'm catching up.
He was into video games and stuff. I'm into Barbie. I don't want to say Barbie dolls. I was into dolls. So like I was by myself. And you know, faking like I can do hair and stuff. And when my mama went to work, I was by myself, so I had to call her. tell her that they wasn't playing with me. You know?
Several times. Several times. Why y'all not talking to Koya? Koya's supposed to be in the room. I know somebody need to play with her. No. No, you need to come home and play with her.
That wasn't his cup of tea.
You need
That's
to come
all.
home and play with her. I'm not, you know, and then she's standing there with her dolls under her
I
arm.
believe it.
Nobody won't play with me.
Y'all
If you don't go get in that bed, nobody's gonna play with you. I did.
When?
I did.
When?
I would go in there and sit there and talk to you, and you know, I didn't play the dolls with you, but I'd sit there and talk to you. I'll send you in there
Say
with
he wasn't gonna
Dominique.
be 10.
Whatever.
That's all.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
You need to learn how to play the video games.
I'm still trying to learn.
She be playing them though.
I'm still trying to learn, you know.
I was a video game person. So
Yeah, I didn't
it
acquire.
worked
I
out
didn't
for me.
acquire.
I had everything.
Listen, I didn't acquire. Well,
Until
I
I
didn't
did.
get it. I didn't get a Wii until I said, "Well, me and Daddy want a Wii." That was my first video game system.
Those were dolls. I played with dolls.
Yeah,
Yeah, I played with everything.
Now
but I
my
was
brother,
definitely a
he
gamer
had
too.
every video game system, but me, I guess I wasn't into video games,
No,
so it wasn't.
You had what is that other, not the PlayStation, but it was another game.
Dreamcast.
No, what was one of them we bought you?
That was for Dominique.
No,
Dominique had the Dreamcast. Pookie had the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation.
but you never asked for it.
Exactly.
You never asked for it,
She said it.
and then when you wanted to play it, it was a stipulation that anytime you wanted to play, he had to let you play.
Yeah.
And you knew that. You could go in there and play. Anytime you wanted to play, you
She
could
said
go in there and
that.
play. But you just chose not to.
Yeah, I didn't buy me no games. I didn't want to play.
Okay,
them
we're
serial killer
not
games.
gonna do this therapy session. You know, we been, that's over and done with. You should have said something then.
So okay, so we're gonna flip the table. We're gonna open up the floor. Do you want to ask us a question?
Yeah, you know, I heard you've been watching a couple episodes. So,
I watched a couple of episodes.
so yeah,
And, you know,
Yeah,
y'all
but he said we talk. He said we
Y'all
talk
was-
over you.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all talk over, but you know, y'all was talking about young men and your lives and stuff.
Oh,
Y'all didn't
that
give Rocky a chance to
episode.
say anything.
Oh.
She said a couple of things, but she didn't elaborate on stuff. She just said,
I think that was
"Yeah, I
one
know,
of
I'm
the
not doing it." And that was
first two
it.
episodes.
You know, y'all was talking about the young men
Mhm.
and stuff, and I was interested to know
Mm.
about the young men.
Okay.
Why y'all feel so harsh about it?
Harsh?
Yes, sound
I
pretty
think
harsh.
I'm very nice compared to these.
I
two.
think now.
I've been through the ring with men, so
I think now men play like it's a lot of games, and it's like at this point,
It is a lot of games, though. I will say.
like bruh.
But you know, here's the thing:
We're not no game system.
men play the games that they're allowed to play.
I do believe that too.
And you can't listen to Steve Harvey because that's just to sell books.
Not to sell books.
Yeah, that's just to sell books. Trust me. The movie was good. Both movies were pretty good, but that's just to sell books.
I think the actor sold
You know,
it. That's why.
because
Yeah.
you know he can't. I
He did a
mean,
good cast.
He did.
yeah. I mean, there's some good actors.
Yeah.
They can bring it out. Well, you know, the chapters in the book, but there's bull crap.
Oh.
I mean, some of that was bull crap because you can't go by every man is the same. Now, you go by every man is the same if you're dealing with the same man, same type of man. But if you but if you keep getting Del Monte corn, then Del Monte corn is going to taste the same. But whenever you go to Hill Country Fair, it's got a different taste,
Okay.
You're
right?
right.
It's the taste. It's the vibe.
I was trying to figure out where you was going.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got
it.
it. So,
So-
that be
so-
true.
yeah,
When he said Del
when you-
Monte, okay.
Yeah, so when you talk
It's a
about
different taste.
a certain type of brother, then you say, well, all the men, that's because you keep dealing with the same type of brother. But when you go shopping, don't keep going to HEB. Go to HEB, go to Walmart. You got Aldi's up here. Try to find a Randall's. When you go different places and find different things, you see that there's different people.
This is coming from the person that buys light stuff because it's cheaper.
Yeah, but I was married for almost 40 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Got you.
Look, I respect
with
that
that
because
one, yeah.
Randall's vegetables are just a tad bit better than HEB. So I mean, I can get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you
That's
can't
the key.
categorize one. I mean, if you have a bad experience with one,
That don't mean they all.
then you know, what do you call bad experiences?
I call them lessons.
That's
Because
right.
you're supposed to learn from it.
That's right.
But not everybody do.
Most bad experiences are lessons.
But I didn't know that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Took a little time. That's all I'm saying.
Take practice the same type of man. Take a little time.
So I always think of it like this. How many times you want to go to hell?
None.
Okay.
That is going very quickly.
But that's very direct, but I get it though. Yeah.
That's true.
But I've never heard it put like that though. Like,
You can't get it out of a book.
that.
You can't get it out of a book or from a movie.
Yeah.
You know,
It's real life.
It's life experiences.
Mhm.
Look, baby, and
a
I've
lot
been
of
through
times
it.
that we get caught up, that we get categorized the same way, and that's I mean, you're not doing us justice because all of us are not like that. So what happens is when you categorize the good ones, that put them in with the bad ones, then you miss the good ones because the good ones shy away from you because because of your attitude that you give them, and you miss them.
But I mean, I get what you're saying on that. But what can you do? Because there's brothers out there, but they won't approach. So what do you have to say to that? Because
Because I'm
you
shocked.
can't. You can't.
I love
it
that
just
she
expect-
hesitated. She needs
You know, all the time. This generation's a little different. Like dudes nowadays will literally be looking like, okay,
They will
we
watch
see
you,
each other.
watch
Like,
you,
we can-
watch
we
you,
been
but
making eye
won't
contact,
say nothing.
but will not approach. I don't understand that.
Because these guys are babies.
Yeah, I was gonna ask your opinion on this.
These new guys right here are they're mother driven, and no offense, they're mother driven. So when they bump their head, mama's gonna kiss it, gonna rub it, it's gonna baby, gonna hold them, it's gonna pack them around. I don't want my baby to be hurt, right? So they don't allow them to bump their heads and get the knot up there and say, oh, I know this hurt. I know to stay away from the corner of that thing, right? So then they don't know how to do it because they're so mother driven. They're waiting for you to come to them.
Yeah, that's true. Because I'm not doing it.
The guys that are a little bit hardened, that have been able to get a knot on their head and not get pet and all that, and they put a little ice on it and go on, they're gonna approach you.
Come on.
Because now they're maturing more. They know the pain, so the pain ain't gonna hurt them as much as the mothers are.
I do. I think rejection in men, I don't think they take it well.
No.
Because then we turn into fat a-holes and you ain't cute no way. And it's like, but I was cute a minute ago.
It's the shooting for me. That's what I can.
It's the type of rejection.
Nowadays, you know.
It's the type.
And I do agree with that too.
If
there's a way you can do
if
it.
they approach you and you're like, ugh. Now, they don't even have to hear you. They don't even have to see you. They can feel it.
That's true.
They can feel it. And if they coming towards you, you're like, he's gonna keep walking.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep walking. But if he's coming towards you and you give him a smile, say, hey, he's gonna sit right down there and he's gonna give you a nice conversation. And I'm telling you, the first 3 or 4 sentences, you're gonna know whether he's a good guy or not.
I believe that now.
If he's using slang, then you say, it's very nice to meet you, but okay.
Yeah, and he'll get the picture.
But if he's talking to you in complete sentences, then sit there and talk to him. You find out more about him. Now, some of them are playing the role because they want to be hard.
Yeah,
Because
that mask.
They think all women want a hard guy instead of being somebody that is being a man. They want to be this bike rider.
I believe in balance.
You know. So, but if you tell them, hey, I don't like thugs, his whole demeanor change.
I don't like them hood rats.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, in depending on where you can be direct, and then sometimes you got to be indirect in your conversation. But you can't sit there and think that that guy is going to carry on that conversation and you waiting on him to say something that you like for you to gravitate to him. That's not going to happen. You got to be able to bring it out, just like he got to be able to bring it out of you. Now, he's going to run some lines that he's heard before, that he used before, and you're going to be able to pick them up, but you can't make that just a line. You know, facial stuff it'll turn anybody off, and that's male or female.
That's true. I be
So-
trying to keep a smile on my face.
Yeah, because a lot of dudes would be like, you need to smile. I mean, I try not to walk around like, it's not even, I mean, I guess you can say like it's a resting face.
I got RBF real
I think we all do. I think most
to a certain
black
extent,
women do.
yeah. To a certain
RBF
extent, but it's not. It may not necessarily have
You know
nothing
what
to do
RBF
with that
is?
guy, but I feel like that's a prejudgment
Use the
thing.
real words with me. Don't use a
rest in B face.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah, use the real stuff with me.
But I think that's like a
I'm from
form
the old
of
school.
prejudgment
Yeah.
because it's like
It is a prejudgment.
it's like a prejudgment because at the same time, just like how you mentioned, like, well, we can't assume when a guy's approaching us, you know, right off the bat, because that's gonna scare him off. I feel like that's the same way, and some guys don't understand that. Like some of these women have their guard up because of what they've been through. Doesn't mean you can't knock it down and then get to still know that person. But I feel like that's still like a form of prejudgment because you wouldn't want it done to you, so why do it to me? You know.
In our day, we were the aggressors. We had to go get the women. We had to go talk to the women. That was the thing. The women could sit there and they make the judgment whether they want to be with you or not. Now it has flipped.
Yeah.
And it has flipped. And now what's happening is flipping back. You know, it's flipping back because you have some women that were aggressive, but they were aggressive in the wrong way. Because their thing was, come on, let's go do what we got to do right now. That's not, and now, and why they doing that, and like Meg and Cardi and all of them, you know, they throwing, you know, saying all the stuff, doing all the stuff, they want theirs and all of that. Now it's kind of flipping because what it has done is scared these guys off. It scared them off because if they're not being approached, they're like, man, what's wrong with me? You know, so then they sit there. So and then if you waiting for them, they waiting for you. You waiting for them, they waiting for you.
Yeah, it's like
so,
this waiting game. It's like, well, we ain't gonna get to talk because not going over there.
So two magnets with the same attraction repel each other.
Yeah,
true.
You know, so everything is flipping now, but it's flipping slowly. So now no one is telling these guys, hey man, you got to be the aggressor now. You got to go. See, when we was coming up, we had guys say, hey man, you got to say this. You got to say this. This is how you got to act. This is how you got to do. There's nobody there to tell them that.
And that's true. All these
Or they
boys, men
feed
out
off
here.
of each other and they just use that and think that's the right way.
They got their fathers in their lives.
And some of them are easy because the girl has approached that one guy and he's like, man, this is all you got. I just stood right here. And he came on. So he's waiting for the same thing. You go to the same club, you go to the same place and expect for the same action to happen. It's just not going to happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. So it's the times are really changing. And I think you gotta look at the different stuff that's going on. We could see the generation change. We can see the different generations that have changed and stuff from where we are, and it happens in tens. It was different from the 80s to the 90s, 90s to the 2000, 2010, and up to now. So you can see every 10 years a generation change, and you can see the mindset, the characteristics, how people do things. It's changing.
Well, it's clearly not working. What we doing? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You got to figure it out before we all get over it.
That's gonna be a topic for a whole nother time, a whole nother episode.
But what you doing?
No, we're talking about that the changes in the dating,
the change in the generations, and
what's wrong with the male species.
This hurts too.
What?
This hurts.
Technology.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it does. It promotes false. I don't want to say false advertising, but false predictions, false goals. Because most of these goal couples are people that you see that's famous or influencers
They
and stuff.
work things behind the scenes.
Yeah, you see the good. You don't see the bad. You don't see the arguments. You don't see, all of that. You see what they're portraying, but behind closed doors, they may be fighting.
Well, there's no personal interaction anymore. See, with us, we didn't have the device where you can look on there at 120 pictures and pick who you want to talk to. We had to go. That's the reason why you see Givens Park, Rosewood Park, You know, when they talk about phases, they talk about the different clubs, they talk about the different areas. You know, when we was in high school, we had a teen club. They don't have a teen club. Well, nothing but high school kids in there that you can go interact with, just high school kids. And it wasn't a skating rink, it wasn't none of that, but you can go interaction. You got a chance to meet kids from all the different schools, and you're in a party atmosphere. We had a lot of house parties. There was a lot of house parties, apartment, they used a clubhouses, and there was a lot of parties, different ones. I mean, all over the city. Friday nights after football games and Saturday nights. You know, there was always somewhere for us to go. Now, I know they say also in small town, wasn't it? But there was always a party going on. It wasn't always a big party, but there was somewhere for you to go and hang out and do stuff. Wasn't no shooting, none of that kind of stuff. Maybe a fight or two, but
that's the mess I can't stand.
no, your life wasn't being threatened. You know, and then as we got older, then we had a couple of black clubs to go to before 6th Street. Before 6th Street got popular and all that. We had a couple of black clubs to go to where people can go, you can meet different people. And I'm talking about people from other cities, you know, and older people, younger people, and all this kind of stuff. And you met them face to face. So you get to see people in a different light, you know, and you get to meet them, you get to listen to them, you know, and you get to see them, and you get to actually watch them dealing with other people. You know, so you know who was the B, who was the a-hole, you know who that, those things was, who was fake, stuff like that. You can't tell off of a computer. You know.
There's no reviews.
Yeah. So and now you guys don't have nowhere to go. You got one place to go, and that's it.
That's true.
Let me put it like one safe place to go. You know, we could go in you know.
Your life always in danger. It don't make a difference where we at now. My life always in danger.
You know, we could, you know, it's been plenty of time people will go out by themselves.
Yeah, you can't do that no more.
We could go out by ourselves.
No.
And there was always someone at the club that you knew that you had met before. They had your back. You know, nothing happened to you, or
there was no setups like, oh, come meet me here, and then you get jumped, and now you can't come outside no more.
I mean, you still had some of those. Might have still had a couple of those. I mean, but you know, it's before I got married and stuff. You know, we had our nights to go out. We had ladies' nights, we had men's night, stuff like that. I didn't go by myself. You know, I went to a Mexican club by myself. You know, and didn't have any problem. Had a good time. Couldn't understand the word they were saying on the song, but had a good time. Sit there, had a couple of beers and stuff. No Hispanics and nobody mess with you. You know, nothing like that. You know, so you had those things. I could go to any of those clubs by myself and didn't have a problem with it.
You can't go outside by yourself.
You know, but if you stay in and keep everything in, you don't have nothing to do on the outside.
True.
You know, so and you gotta go and deal with like people instead of people that's outside of what you usually deal with. And it's hard because the like people are gonna stay inside instead of mingling and going outside. I mean, we hit the nice areas where you can go sit, happy hour, have a drink. It was more business. People are there in their suits and they dress shirts coming from work. It was a nice, smooth crowd, stuff like that. You had a couple of places like that, and I just don't see that anymore. There's just nowhere for you guys to be like that. You know? So yeah, y'all got a little tougher than we do.
I'm glad you said that.
Listen, we're gonna end on that note right there. So guys, thanks for coming on the podcast. Hope you
did enjoy it.
See, look, we're not that bad. But follow us on socials, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube. Hit us on our we're on TikTok too, but we won't post on there. Facebook, you know. Hit us on our email, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
You gotta say bye.
Bye.